Hello everyone, this is Blankara, and welcome to my universe. Today we're going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. Last time I've been making steady progress in the upward turn here. Just trying to get everything all lining up correctly, and yes, hello Vivi, we are indeed with very bald Shalom once more. Because I am starting a new head turn, and that always means that I need to kind of get the hair on individually, and I get very distracted if I have all the hair layers on at once while I'm trying to perfect certain ones here. So I just turned it all off. It's fine. It'll come back eventually. In fact, I've already added a couple back. So just, it'll only be a matter of time before the rest comes. I was thinking about participating in Inktober this year. I haven't decided if I'm going to or not. I think I'm going to try, but if it's, but I'm not going to promise that I do one every day. And when the ones that I do, it's, I have a fairly limited amount of time to draw every day. So the ones that I do draw will probably be stuff I can draw in like an hour or less. That's the only way I could really post every day. It definitely takes me, you know, probably a week or more to actually be able to draw something complete, but I've just been thinking of doing a few sketches every day or something. We'll see if my current health will allow for it, but I think I'm gonna give it a shot. It sounds fun. I will be doing it digitally, though. Probably just in my fully black and white, or mostly black and white, minimalist style. So this way I can at least somewhat imitate what ink actually looks like. Only somewhat, but yeah. So for anybody else interested in drawing, I highly encourage you to join me. I'll be trying to post something on all my social media and probably up on my community page here, just about every day. Hopefully every day. Like, if I can pull off every day, that'd be pretty sweet. And I think I'll record myself too, so this way I can also practice making some videos as well. Those I may not post every day, though. That might take a little bit more time, and it might be the kind of thing where I post them on Saturday, since that's the day, either Saturday or Monday. Because those are the days my kids go out and play with their grandparents. Gives me a bit of extra time to be doing stuff like making videos. And figuring out how to do things I don't know how to do. Pretty hard to do that when I have tiny ones climbing all over me. But for today, I'm gonna try to figure out the connecting hair here, the tunnel, and the highlight on it over here. So that's what I'm hoping for today. This way I can start turning on more hair layers. Start getting them all into place one by one. Trying to think about what I want to be doing with this highlight here. And I think what I want to do is I want to kind of bring this side down a little bit And like this middle part upward a little bit. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to get away with it, but I think it'll look pretty cool if I can get something like that going. Make the bottom part a little longer so this way it curves more this direction instead of this direction. This way, yeah. Just a little bit more. I don't think I'm going to be able to fully change the direction since I decided not to separate the highlights. And honestly, I have no regrets in my choice to not separate the highlights. Because I think this looks fine. Even if I had them fully separated, I'm not actually entirely sure what I would have done with them. Let me actually check something on the mesh here. Okay, no, I'm good. Just kind of felt like the shadow area was creeping in a weird direction, and I wanted to see if I did something strange with the way everything is moving now. But no, it's just a side effect of me making everything look a little bit smaller on the top. So it's totally fine. Everything is fine. In fact, I think I'm gonna emphasize that a little bit more. Make it look more like she's turning upward. Make certain spots a little bit larger and certain spots a little bit smaller. I'm trying to make it look like this back part of the hair here is behind this part here. Even though they are technically on the same layer. So I'm just kinda... yeah. Making it look like those lower parts are much more visible now. My goodness, my nose is incredibly itchy this morning. I don't know. Perhaps. It is the end of fall, so that happens sometimes. One moment, gotta sneeze. Alright, there we go. I've been feeling a little bit off lately, so with any luck it's just something like allergies, but I'm not sure. I'll probably go to the doctor next. I have a doctor's appointment scheduled for next week, so hopefully I can figure out what's going on. I just swear that I have, like, mysterious health issues that take an eternity to solve every so often. It's kind of terrible. So I'm hoping that's not what's happening here, and it's just easy. We figure it out, and then it's all fixed, and I can go back to doing whatever it is I do. Alright. So I have this area, there's like an area where the bangs connects to the hair on the side here. And right now I'm trying to line up those parts. They're a little bit off with some of the changes I made this morning. Here we go. Now they're properly connected. Possibly. I might need to adjust a little bit more. Yeah, probably a little bit more. There's an angle somewhere that's not quite right here. I'm not sure if it's on the bang or the connecting hair, but I will find it and I will eliminate it. Whatever the problem is. Okay, looks like it's on the bang. See these problems, they can't hide from me forever. Eventually I will find them. And they will do whatever it is I want them to do. That is the power the artist has. They can make anything happen. At least within the small worlds of their paintings and everything else. Alright. No, they're still not quite connected. What are you even complaining about? You got a little spot that you gotta connect to over here. Where is it? Okay, there we go. Just making sure that all these little spots are filled in and all that good stuff, but it looks like everything's kind of coming together now. Yeah. Right here still might be going a little bit too high. Still just going through a lot of the trial and error while I figure out what I want to be doing with this and how round everything should be. Because so far that's been kind of the joy of the upward turn, in that I have so many excuses to make things super round. Circles are a great shape. They should be more appreciated. But anyway... with the way the head turns work, I just have an excuse to let things go more this way, which inevitably makes them round. Whereas here, if you run it through the eyes, it's fairly flat, a little bit downward. And then the down, it kind of comes down like this. Can't quite get away with being quite as round there, but here, everything is like whoosh, whoosh, just going upward. So I have an excuse to make things a little bit rounder, since we're seeing everything from below. And it makes me happy. But I do have to make sure that everything else stays connected here. Looks like, while I wasn't paying attention, some things kind of got disconnected. But I think I put them all back. So now I'm just trying to figure out the right level of roundness for this clump right here, the one that actually connects to the bangs more directly. Because I think once I figure that out, then everything else should kind of just follow suit. Because right now it just kind of feels like it's maybe going a little bit too high up. Becoming perhaps a little bit too round. As unfortunate as that always is to say. Alright, so because I lowered it a little bit, that does mean I have to reconnect it down here. Now that is an unfortunate side effect of everything being connected like this. When one thing moves, it means another thing kind of has to move along with it. But yeah, I do think that is closer to what I want to do. Just kinda gotta feel my way through the rest of it still. Get all these little shapes right in here. Still kind of in the process of finding the right angle for this part on the side here. I do feel like the parts around this area are always the more difficult here. Just, they're near the face. It's very important to see. Very important to get them right. And I'm still trying to perfect the shape of the highlight as well, which is probably complicating things somewhat. Because right now the way I'm doing it isn't quite working for me, which is deeply unfortunate. Alright, time to do some more experiments then. If that's not working, gotta try something else. That's just how it works. No point in beating my head against the wall if it's just not working out. Before I do too much, I kind of want to get this shadow right there, looking a little bit smoother. It was perhaps a little bit rough, looking a little bit strange there. Try sliding these up a little bit, just try to make this highlight a little bit flatter there. Try to give the impression that it's being tilted upward. Because, like, I really like the way this highlight came out. I changed the shape just a little bit there. So I'm kind of trying to do something similar with some of the other ones. The effect is not quite landing. It might be the kind of thing where I mess with it some more once I have some more hair turned on. Because it might give me a better idea of where that highlight should go. But if I remember correctly, this one doesn't... how do I describe it? Like, it doesn't get... It's not very strong on this side. I do think I have the basic gist of where the structures of the hair should go. Right here, maybe still a little bit off. But I think I'm going to try turning on one more just to make sure that I remember how the highlight goes. So that one, and that. Yeah, I remember roughly how the highlight goes. And if I put on this one here, there should be like no highlight on it. Yeah, we got a little bit of a rim right here. But otherwise, the highlight just kind of stops here, and then there's a little bit of highlight there, but not very much. Okay. So how should this be shaped? Alright, decision-making time. I'm gonna think for a second here. So what I kind of want to do is something similar to what I did with this one, where normally it has kind of this downward facing to it. And then up here I changed it a little bit so it very slightly faces upward instead. And I think that's what I'd like to do ideally. So what would a more upward facing highlight look like for this area here? What would it look like? Yeah, I think just a little bit flatter. Because I with the shape of the head, I don't think it makes sense to completely turn it like this. So I think just making it a little bit flatter all the way through is probably the way to go. Which would mean... this highlight comes down a little bit. I do my best to make it a little flatter through here. I may not quite be able to get away with that much because I'm not sure if I can make this line look good with the handles tilted up like that. Let's hide this for a second just to make sure I am seeing things correctly. Okay, good. I was not seeing things correctly, and that actually bodes well. Means that I just need to tuck this up here a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Now, there is still this bit of a lump here, though. How do I fix that? Looks like I'm gonna have to go back between these two layers a little bit here. Just go back and forth. Find the right combination. Make sure I fill in all those holes. Do not want any random bald spots when I actually have all the hair on. Random bald spots when I'm hiding some of the hair, totally fine, but not when I have all the strands on. That would be kind of unfortunate. Those are like permanent bald spots, as opposed to the temporary ones that I use just to kind of help me see what I'm doing. Slide all these up a little bit. The highlight got a little bit too far down there. Okay, this part stretching down here notwithstanding, I think all that looks pretty good. I need to fix this though, because otherwise it's just going to bother me. I'll just see it squirming and I won't be able to focus on anything else. So just going to get this looking good enough that hopefully it will not bother me, or at the very least all the problems will be down here for my future self to deal with. Just put them in a place where either fix them or put them somewhere where I can't see them. Great way to deal with my problems. Sure, future me will know exactly what to do when the time comes. Okay. So I'm not concerning myself with the tip for the moment. Just the roots. The only thing I care about is the part for the time being. Just right down the middle here. Where all the hair connects. Okay, actually, what was I gonna fix here? It's trying to slide the highlight up a little bit here, but it's not working. So I'm gonna bring it down. Okay. So there's two types of favorite that I might have. My favorite character, like personality-wise, overall, is Hella. I'm very glad she's featured prominently in the story because she is hilarious. And my favorite character design is Enfer. And I feel like these are two very different things. So, wanted to mention them both separately. Makes me very sad that Enfer was basically a sideshow in her own event. Stolen by Helen, nonetheless. So, worked out for me, I guess. But honestly, I do find it hard to choose because they have a lot of good characters and a lot of good character design too. But I do think that those two kind of sum up my favorites. For personality, Hella, for character design, Enver. Alright, I think I'm starting to get some of that highlight going. I think I want to flatten the top up here a little bit. Push this down. Now I'm trying to think of how to describe why they're my favorites. Talking about character design is easier, so I'll start with Enver, and that's Yes! I know, most people have no appreciation for the starter characters. But I think she's great. Very well-written child character that is utilized very effectively within the narrative itself. Oh, Hikata is great. I like both of them. They play off each other very well. Honestly, it might be part of why Hella ended up being my favorite, of just, a lot of characters, you get to see a little bit of them through their events and stuff, but there aren't very many that you see play off a lot of people. Especially in a lot of the earlier events, a lot of it was the B-rank sitters just derping around together, like the Night of Wonders with Hella and Emp was pretty great. Lisa and McQueen was pretty funny too. And, so we just kind of got to see her a lot, and a lot of what I tend to like in character writing is the way they play off each other, rather than what they do individually. So I think that probably played a pretty big role in why I ended up liking her so much. That, pretty much anytime she comes on the screen, she's like chewing the scenery, and it's wonderful. So... I guess it should come as no surprise that another one that I really like is Raven, who also chews the scenery like you wouldn't believe. I probably do have a type there. And I also think it's why Shalom, Rahu, and Kokalik are so popular, because they're characters that played off each other rather than kind of feeling more independent and separated from everything. Honestly, I've been really glad that they've been bringing back sinners from previous events into new ones, so we can see a little bit more of them. Because I do think that will do a lot for each individual character and making them more enjoyable and seeing more of the kinds of situations that they get in there. Because the closest we get with that right now is with, like, supervision events. And a lot of those kind of border on shitposting, so It's not exactly the same. And I guess some of those thoughts do make me a little bit fearful for how more of the ongoing interconnected stories, and like the main story and with the Eternal Nightmare. Just because they have to prominently feature whatever new waifu they're selling. And then they tend to kind of... I don't know, you don't tend to see them as much after, which is always feels a little bit strange, narratively speaking. So, I'm glad that they've been bringing them back a little bit more often, especially featuring some of the lower rarity ones, because it gives me some hope that hopefully everything will be a little bit more cohesive. Like I admit, once Arknight started doing that, everything kind of got weird. And Arknight's already kind of had problems with its writing, so... Once that started happening, I don't know. I didn't have nearly as much fun reading through the story. So I'm kind of hoping that Path of Nowhere can find a way to kind of fix that issue. I do think that they've been handling their writing overall better than Arknight's did, so I do have some hope there, but... It might just be a limitation of the genre to an extent, just because they want to prominently feature whatever new character they're selling. Alas, money destroying writing cohesion everywhere. I know. Dude, I'm so sad. It's like it was so good for a while, but the presentation is really bad sometimes. Like, I think the way my husband described it was very perfect, very wonderful. Just, it feels like it's written by someone who's paid by the word. So there's just a lot of scene bloat and unnecessary words, and I still can't get over the fact that Kaltzit unironically started going on a monologue about the history of hot dogs. And this happened, canonically, in an event. It was not fan-written. This actually happened. Like, there were tons of memes about her being like that for a while, but then it actually happened. And I'm like, oh no. And if it was just Kaltzit and that was like a character trait, that'd be totally fine. I don't mind characters being pretentious and wordy, but when that's just like the writing style, it doesn't always quite work out. I think that's where some of the constraints that the Path to Nowhere authors are putting on themselves is helping, because they actually voice their cutscenes. And I imagine that if Arknights tried to actually voice their story scenes, that they'd go broke, because there's just too much to read. There'd be too much to voice. It'd be too expensive. So I think that to an extent stops the word count bloat. Of just having to hire people to voice it. So here's hoping. But honestly, just the fact that they keep featuring lower, or Path to Nowhere, that is, keeps featuring lower rarity characters and is using characters that have been in past events and current events and all that stuff already just kind of makes everything feel a little bit better. Things don't feel as disconnected, and it makes everything feel a little bit more personal. I like it. What is going on here? Okay. This highlight, man. It's mad about something, but I don't know what it is. Maybe this is a time where I should take a look at the mesh and see why it's squirming about all wrong, but okay. Well, then I just went and fixed it, so I guess that's fine now. All these other parts that are squirming a little bit don't matter as much, because they're just going to be covered up, so I'm not going to worry about it. There we go. It was just waiting for me to complain, and then it was just going to fix itself. Feels kind of like that sometimes. Just wiggly worms instead of hair. There we go. This is looking a bit better. Still perhaps a little bit wiggly, but better than it was. Just kind of need to figure out where these various liney shadows should be. The areas kind of separating each strand. But I think once I figure that out, that'll be this area. It'll be time to put on more hair. But it's like, I feel like they just kind of need a particular shape, and I haven't been able to find it yet. Oh, hold on. Cough. Okay, there we go. Still don't want to be blowing out anyone's ears with me just coughing like this. Totally doesn't vibe with the soft piano music. Okay. Looking pretty good near the top there. Still just want to adjust some stuff in this little shadowed spot. Mostly right through here. And hope that this does not mess up where it connects to the front bang there, but it looks like it didn't. Perfect. Let's see if that moves right now. What do I think? Does it move well? I actually think it does. Yeah. This area that I haven't worked on yet, notwithstanding. And everything else up there. Yeah, and I think the way the shapes are kind of changing a little bit is accurate here. I don't think they look like they're expanding. It's just the turn. Okay, cool. That's always the kind of funny part when working on stuff like this. It's... Even though I'm working on a static image, the part that I actually care about is how it looks when it moves. So I kind of always have to be watching that. Because it's like when I go and I click this button, like nothing's moving anymore. Nothing's moving. Everything that I move around is just making changes to a still image. It is a keyframe, after all. But what I actually care about is how things move around. So I guess you could say the area between the two keyframes. Always just kind of the funny paradox, because it's like if I was just worried about making a nice static image, you know? As I do when I'm just making a simple illustration or something. And it matters a lot less where each individual piece goes. And I just think it's funny how that works out. And where I have to be much, much more precise in where I put things. Otherwise it'll look wrong. Hence, squirming. Just looks like it's squirming instead of rotating with her head. Alright. Going a little bit further down here, just because my brain feels like it, I guess. There's no particular reason this time. But this strand is kind of important, so I don't mind letting my brain do what it wants. I don't think I'm gonna go all the way down here, though. I don't want to go down there. But my brain is content, kind of pretending like it doesn't exist. It's fine. That'll be a problem for future me. And honestly, I think it'll be the kind of thing that's a bit easier to understand once I have all the hair on. Because I think like half of that is going to be covered up, so... Why worry about the hard thing if you don't have to? That's the way I see it. No need to make your life more difficult than it needs to be. Life is already hard. Don't need to make it even harder. Okay. So far, so good. Let's see, how do I feel about this highlight? Is it good? Is it good? Yeah, I think it's okay. So I guess I'll start straightening up things over here now. Let's see, how do I want this underneath part to look here? I think I want a little bit more of the dark area to show. Have it be a little bit more like this. And I think that will show the twist of the head a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah, showing that twist of the head nicely. Just bring this pink part over a little bit. Move some things to the side there. And now it looks like we're seeing a little bit more of what's underneath. Although I think before I get too deeply into everything over there, I think I want to turn this layer on too. Get her side hair all looking nice. Man, this part just looks so good here. I'm very pleased with how that came out. Wait, it's getting flatter at the top and you see less of those highlights. Ah, perfect. Exactly the way I wanted it. Alright, actually a lot of the stuff in this area looks pretty okay. I managed to get a lot of it looking good. Makes me wonder why I turned it off. But it's fine. I'm sure my past self had her reasons. She typically does. Just want to slide up where it transitions from purple to white there. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. So I think the only thing I want to fix up on this strand here, actually, is this outer edge and this highlight. Everything else I think is actually looking really good. Like here is just so great. Man, good job, past self. You really outdone yourself. Right there. Yes, it's quite nice. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this highlight completely right until I see more of the hair. So I'm just going to kind of do some rough guessing here. And I don't think I want to turn on more strands on that side just yet. Just going to get rid of some of the initial squirming and round things out the side there like they should be, and then everything should be okay for a little while until I decide it's time to turn on more hair. There's just some distortion around here. Actually, this is such specific distortion that I think I'm actually going to look at how the mesh is moving. Okay, so this guy's just sliding up here a little bit too much. Fortunately, that is very straightforward to fix. Okay, and then there's something going on over here. Okay. We don't need to pull any shenanigans for the time being. I just want the squirming to stop. Oh shoot, did I just... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I just did that the wrong keyframe. We're backing all the way up there. Okay. Let's take another look at that. I'm not quite sure how I managed to do that on the wrong keyframe there, but... well, I did. My brain has not been entirely here lately, and... that's one of those areas where it shows. It's okay, it happens sometimes. Brain is just on a little vacation. It'll come back eventually. This is why I called the doctor. Because I know something is wrong. But it's alright. I can still do stuff. Alright, mistakes were made, but I fixed it. It's fine. It's totally fine. I'm pretty sure I didn't break anything. That's what matters in the end, right? Nothing is broken. Totally lost track of what I was editing. Okay, here we are. My brain just went on a slight autopilot there. So this is why I'm thinking about doing Inktober. I wish it kind of came at a better time. But I'm perhaps a little bit worried about it. It's okay. I will try, and if I can't do all 31 days, then that's okay. I'll do the ones I'm able to. I think it's fun. I haven't done any specific art challenges like this. I already draw every day, so I'm already kind of succeeding in what the point of Inktober is, but well, why not do it anyway? Nothing wrong with drawing even more. I took a look at the prompt list the other day, and so far I'm kind of ambivalent about it, but I'm kind of trying to think of interesting things I can do with the themes that they have going here. And so I think I'm just going to give it a try with the prompt list provided. Some other people are making up their own that I've seen, but I think I'll just stick with the official. I imagine that's what most people will be using, so if I'm joining a, I don't know, exercise like this, then being able to engage with what most people are doing seems like a good idea. I think half the reason is just for it to be a community thing. And then I can see what other people are doing too, and that sounds fun. Just reminds me of, like, oh man, I think it's been like 5 or 6 years. I did National Novel Writing Month once, and it nearly killed me. That's okay. I like drawing more than I do writing, so hopefully this will be fine. 50,000 words is a lot. Okay, I think that strand's looking pretty good. I think the way it's moving looks pretty cool. The way we're seeing a little bit more underneath there. Maybe I just want to pull something out over here. Let me see, like right here. It's perhaps a little bit squirmy. I think I might have changed the shape to make it a little bit too... what's the right term for it? Maybe too concave. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Still kind of keeping that outward momentum while not completely reversing the overall shape. Is that a shenanigan? Do I need to fill something in there? No, that is totally fine. Okay, cool. Oh man, I'm getting to turn on a lot of strands today. Feels good. Wasn't expecting to make this much progress today, but I guess it is true that it gets a lot easier as more and more strands come on, so... Here we go. Don't think I need that one yet, but there is like a couple of underneath layers. I think it's the one that's on this side. Yes. Which means I probably also want this one and this one. And she's looking almost normal. A lot of my just basic edits there are actually looking pretty good. Let's see if we can make them look even better. Just get those last few spots into place. Make this highlight here suitably round. Suitably round and suitably smooth. All that good stuff. But I don't think I can work on this strand here without this over here, and everything gets a little bit strange when I don't have certain companion elements, I will call them. So I think this strand is really showing the difference in perspective well, where everything's getting a lot flatter up there, and the angle of the dark spot is sharper, and you see very little of this light area in the back here. So I think this strand is really selling the change well. Still got some stretching over here, though. Let me see. How are we stretching? Yeah. Just got some things that need to move up a little bit here. A lot of things that need to move up a little bit here. Maybe it would have made more sense to use the brush, but I guess this didn't take too long. And I gotta straighten out those triangles, as they are really bent. They do not need to be that bent. Get everything nice and smooth right through here. You know, it really was funny, because the other day I was telling myself that, yes, I'm spending an eternity getting these bangs just right, but things will get much easier as I get toward the edge. And indeed, today, I'm moving out toward the outer edges, and they're just coming together nice and easy for me. Sometimes I forget how fairly easy they are. Hopefully this time they won't give me so much trouble on the tips. Because a couple of these strands, when I was going all the way down to the tip, just did not want to cooperate with me. So hopefully that goes better on this head turn. Man. Just looking at her head and I forget, she has so much hair. So much hair. Alright. Well, that was some pretty good progress for today. But I think this is where I'm going to stop for today. I don't think I want to dig into the other side just yet. But I do think I will actually turn on some of the back hair here. Assuming I can find it. I guess I'll take a look at that before... Yeah. Okay, no. We'll leave you off for now. Alright, I was thinking about maybe taking a peek at that, but my brain is very tired. It's been struggling lately. It's okay. I was able to make some good progress that I can be happy with. I think it's looking pretty good. Up and down, going well. And it's easy on up because it's like most of the hair is hiding. So everything just gets 10 times easier near the back. Alright. Well, thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, or any other creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message or at me in the social media of your choice, and I will take a look and maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.